Hello, and welcome to the RealRam fam. On my channel, I intend to provide you with a safe platform to discuss the intersections of your entire being, to be able to be comfortable in your own skin, in mission or position. There is no one like you, and we all have a purpose and message. I, for one, am a black woman, mother of four, a military veteran, and a wife, and a social worker, just to name a few. From my channel, I hope that you learn more about military families and social workers. 3 of the social work values are my aim in each video: importance of human relationships, dignity and worth of the person, and social justice. No matter what you initially think when you hear social worker, there is more to the profession. Trust me. Stay locked in by subscribing to the channel, and be sure that you hit that notifications bell so you don't miss any new uploads. Without further ado, on to today's episode. What's up, everybody? Good evening. So tonight we're gonna try to make it light, easy, maybe quick. Hopefully y'all dialogue with me. The hottest show right now, the Squid Game. I don't know how far along you all are, but we finished watching it. I think that was Thursday night or Friday during the day. It is a good show. So for those of you who do not know what it is about, just a synopsis. It's a show about people in Korea who have debts that they cannot pay. They are so far in debt that you're pretty much like, you know how we say, when I get to the bottom, there's just to the bottom of the bottom, there's no lower I can go. You know, what would I do? You go to great lengths. So the guy, lots of people, but of course you start off with one person. The guy meets a person in a metro station or subway that gives him the opportunity to make some money. The one particular person that we're following in the beginning is y'all please don't, y'all know I'm trying, but Seong Jihan. He happens to have a gambling problem. That's his problem. That's why he's in debt. He gambles all his money away. So he meets somebody in the subway that gives him opportunity to make money. He doesn't initially take it, but then he goes back. And so the whole thing appears to be about free will. So all of the people have come to enter into these games, quote unquote, under their own free will. Now, here's the thing is, when you are in debt and when you're in debt, and then 2, if you have a life that you don't have much going on, do you really have a choice? Because then there's another character. They are only over here, only have his real name. But he's player 001. Like I said, I'm not going to do any spoilers. But he knows that his life is going to end soon anyway. So he's like, hey, what the hey? Let me just go ahead and play these games. So as you're watching, you're like, games? What kind of game is this? Right? So they're like, if you don't win, you're eliminated. Right? That's just the word that you say when you play a game. You're eliminated, right? Or you lose. You're not the winner. But these people are truly eliminated from the face of the earth if you don't win the game. So the whole thing is to win this grand prize money at the end. And it's a lot of money. Of course, over there in Korea, it's worth a lot of money. So the first game they play is red light, green light. If y'all remember playing red light, green light as a child, it's very, very simple, right? Except for the fact you can't move. We know we're humans. We can't really detect or see everybody if they're moving unless they're like fall. But because they're using a robot, you can tell if they're moving because the robot is lasering in. They're using infrared lights. All this, oh, it's crazy. So, um, eliminating people. As I was watching this, though, I thought about all the childhood games that I used to play, and like, what was the point of some of these games? Because some of them I didn't even understand, and even today, as I watch my little daughter, she's playing. Remember, girls mostly when we played the little hand games, hand clapping games, and the one is go shame, shame, shame. I don't wanna go to Mexico no more, more, more. Man, do you ever go back and think about the things that you used to do and say as a kid in these games? I wonder about that one. What was the point? And it's a bit racist. It's a bit racist and discriminatory towards Mexicans. And then there's one line that says, um, she went to college, ate a snake, and walked back home with a bellyache. I wonder if that meant that she went to college, had sex, and got pregnant. Because we refer to things as a snake now, and you ate a snake. It's very, very interesting. So I just wonder if anybody knows what was the purpose of that game. And uno dos y eso. I met my boyfriend at the candy store. He bought me ice cream. He bought me cake. What was that about too? Is that appropriate? These games that we used to play and say and sing, like, it's just crazy. So I just have over here, I have opened up the picture of cast members. Um, and even what sucks is that there's a character, Ali. Ali is supposed to be from Pakistan. And he's not even listed on this one particular screenshot that I have. I had to go get him separately. And that's a whole nother issue. Now, when I did go to IMDb, uh, he's listed with the cast, but there's no photo of him. I don't know why, but that was just something that I noticed, something that I felt needs to be pointed out because he's the only non Asian in the crew. Now, of course, I mean non Asian by birth because I don't know if he is a citizen of an Asian country. He very well may be. But even as you watch the show, um, he represents all immigrants and what all immigrants go through, the mistreatment of immigrants, how they are viewed. I mean, even in Asia itself, and then in Korea, how they treat one another, you will unite against the immigrant. So the stuff that's going on in this show isn't particular non-East Asian. Oh, Pax. Oh, yeah, yeah. You're right. Okay, you're right. You're right. Educate me. Educate me. um, the point is that you still will unite against the person who is not from your country. So it refers to, I am talking about the fact that, okay, so even over here in the US, we know how we are divided up by regions and how we would treat one another by region and then also by being black or white or whatever. But we will still unite if we see someone who is an other or we think is an other, which is still ridiculous because US is a country full of immigrants. But you're still going to treat the Asian differently, the African differently. Everyone's going to get treated differently because you're not American by birth. So Ali refers to his employer as master and also the other characters. So in the article that I read, that talks about how this movie wasn't translated properly per per other Koreans who actually looked at this movie, yes, so Ali refers to his boss and other people as master. But when it's translated, it's simply just sir. So as you're watching this as an American, you're just like, there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, sir, 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 sir. But that's not technically that's not what he's saying. So when he's coming across one of these characters, he's like, stop calling me that. Stop calling me that. But we don't know that. Before reading the article and I'm watching it, I'm like, Ali's just a little kid. He's just a youngin. He doesn't know what else to do. It's just a term of respect and all of that. But I mean, as you watch it more and more, he reveals his age. Like I said, I'm not going to do any spoilers. He reveals his age, and I'm just going to say he's not a baby. He's not a kid. So yeah, it is. It's all interesting. So you did indeed finish watching the show, right? You told me you finished. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to talk about a few of these characters. As I said, to not do any spoilers. I'm not going to do any spoilers. Y'all chime in with me and leave your comment. So let's talk about it. No, we're not even going to start there. I'm going to start right here. So this was the first person that I said. I can't make this any bigger. I know that's probably what you think. Oh yeah, I can. Here we go. Okay, so Seong Ji-hong, like I said, he was the first character, right, that you're introduced to, and I said he has a gambling problem. I think that he is representing morals. People who have morals. Yeah, you struggle with your addiction. You struggle with where you have your shortcomings in life, but you always look for the good and look for ways to help others. That's what I see in this particular character. What do you all say about that? I wish you could do spoilers because I want to know what you thought of the ending. Oh, well, I mean, I could. I just don't know what to do with these spoilers. I don't know what to do with it. Look, I'm not gonna jump. I'm not gonna jump to there. What did you think about that particular character? That's all I think as of now. I think that he represents morals, the good that we try to see in people. That's what I got from him. But chime in. Next person that I'm going to talk about is y'all. Like I said, y'all know I don't know how to say this stuff, but is it sharing or not? Here, this one, that one. Wasn't she the thief? She was no, she wasn't the thief girl. This was the thief girl. I don't know. I think she was the thief. Whichever one of these was the thief, and then the other one was the thief, and then the other one, Lord, I don't know. But her, Han, she was no joke. She was not to be messed with. She definitely represents a woman scorned, particularly on that one scene that I'm not gonna spoil. I thought about showing clips from the show as I talked about people, but y'all know I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen, but they just want to join in the conversation. But her right here, she is no joke. She's not to be messed around. We look at her as we're watching the show and we're like, dude, she's trying too hard. She doing too much. She having sex with old boy. Where? Where is he on here? With him, James Diok. He is a jerk. He is a jerk. So you watching the two of them trying to gang up, and then he is a big bully and a jerk punk sissy. That's what he is. He doing all of this trying to be the boss on the outside, but then when he on the inside, man, that dude ain't nothing. He can't do too much nothing. So that was a few people already that I went over. Let's go back to old girl though, the thief. Let's go back to her. She had her parts. Okay, so yeah, she's supposed to be making money to try to help get her brother out of the foster home or the boys' home. And I think for a while that really was her focus. She stayed going. But when you first come across her in the train station, you're like, she's bad. She's a bad thief. She's slick with it. And apparently she's taught by this guy. Or they had their run-ins together. But she bad. She bad. Oh, okay, Davida, you talking? Okay, let's see. Purity. Who's supposed to be Purity? That's Song is Purity. And then the older one what? The older one what? And then yeah, she came across as desperate. God, yes, she did, man. And she was just in survival mode for sure. For sure, she was. She was. And then I want to talk about old boy, but I'm like, I am so gonna save him for last. Ooh, I'm gonna save him for last. Ooh. Who else should we go to? We don't want the character zero player. Oh, Ali. Ali is Purity. You think Ali is Purity? Yeah, I would agree. Innocence. I think more so innocence. They're very similar, but not quite the same. Ali is straight innocence. 001 character player number 1. Wisdom. We all know that. I mean, off the bat, you already know the older person is always going to represent wisdom. People wanted to hush him up. People wanted to avoid him. But who got them through the game of tug of war? It was him. And of course, in the end, there's a trick, there's twists and turns. And then, so when he lost it for me in the episode where he decided that he was going to take advantage of player 01 because he thought that he couldn't remember. So, like I said, karma. When he turned them tables and let him know that he really knew what was going on, boy, I tell you, so it was red light, green light, tug of war, that I knew. When he was telling them, let's talk about the method that he said to help them get through tug of war. Has anybody ever used an actual method when playing tug of war? Other than, I'm going to try to put the strongest person in the front, I'm going to try to put the strongest person in the back, put the strongest person in the middle. But I mean, he had a whole dynamic to the thing. He had the whole thing on lock. David said that prostitute represents female promiscuity, temptation, and how women can use their bodies as persuasion in their. Yeah. She did that. But he still tried to use his little gangsterism on the outside. I don't know. She definitely did that. She said she just pulled the rope. She just pulled the rope. Who should we talk about? The mothers. Yeah, okay, so the mothers were mothers, right? I don't think there really is much to say there. The mothers did what mothers do. Either trying to talk to their children about doing what's right, get a job, tell them, stop making. Seong's mom was trying to get on him about being a good father, making money, and all of this, help taking care of the house. And then Kim, whatever, what was her name? She just believed everything that her son told her. I think that she represents also the gullible mothers. The gullible mothers who think that there's just nothing that their child can't do wrong just because they're smart. Just because their child is smart. So her son, she can't see that her son got problems with money. Obviously, there's something that he's hiding that, Seong, he couldn't see it either. This dude, them smart people they be getting over on folks. Who else is where? I don't want to leave nobody out, but there's just main characters and people that you gotta talk about, and other people not that didn't really have such a big role. This guy, is this the cop? This is the cop, right? You put it up higher. This person right here, that's the cop who came looking for his brother. I want to know how he infiltrated and got in. I'm really interested in that. And he was doing some stuff that I think he should have got caught sooner because he was careless. He was real careless and looking people in the eye when he was with the VIPs. He shouldn't have been looking people in the eyes like that. Who is she? Player 070. Who is Player 070? I don't know. This a front man. Front man, what? Y'all help me. Ring the bell. I don't know front man who. But this guy, this was the guy in the black mask. And that was a surprise in the end on what he did. So let's talk about each character that you. Okay, hello. All right. That was the most suspenseful part of the show. Which part? Because I was just rambling. I was just rambling just now. Which part was the most suspenseful? Was it the VIP? Oh my God. So while we're talking about the VIP room, I didn't like that. And let me tell you what I did not like. I didn't like the fact that it felt to me like slavery. I think he's gone. David. My viewership dropped. So I think he's gone. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, so it was like slavery. Because just like during slavery, you had the people watching, had us putting on fights with one another, and all for people's personal enjoyment. And so the whole thing was for other people's enjoyment. It's done. Or at least it told me it's done. It told me it's done. It said who will watch Another Life season 2 on Thursday. It will be released Netflix. Yeah, I clicked block, so I don't know. It told me that he's blocked. So the whole game, the game was being viewed by someone. And as you get to hear them have their own personal conversations, they said that they are zombies. So they're not even people. Does that ring a bell? So, Davida, you said they signed up for it, but they didn't know what they were signing up for. All they knew is that they were in debt. They were in debt. They didn't enjoy their life on the outside. So someone gives them the opportunity to win a whole lot of money. So they gonna go for it. Now, once they were in and they left, those who decided to come back, that was a whole that changed the game. Now, oh, both of y'all. Okay, so Davida say they signed up for it. David say the second time they knew. So y'all just hit me because I still felt slavery in this. So when the Africans were brought over, they didn't know what the heck was happening. They couldn't speak the language. They didn't know. Let's forward a little bit to, like I said, when they were having us fight each other, the whole blindfold fighting, the one arm behind the back fighting, all of that, having our women, to themselves for their enjoyment, even the killing, the hangings, like all of it. Some of this was for their own pleasure. Some people left. Some people killed themselves. Some people killed themselves and their children. Some people, and so this is aligned together, where these folks were eliminated during these games, whether it was by them losing, their teammate made them lose, or they gave up, or whatever. It was the same. So you say they signed up for it. So when they did the vote and they ended the games and some people left, right? So they had already eliminated a lot of people. A lot of people were already gone. So they already knew what was going to happen. Yes? Okay. So they come back. It is just like in slavery, though. It is. And that was the argument between Chu Sang-woo and Song Ji-hong. Y'all know I'm doing guy one and guy two. That was the argument between the two of them and a lot of them, that no matter what are you going to do on the outside? So they left, but some of them either went back to their own ways. Some of them had more debt. What were they going to do? So just like in slavery, those who actually did run away, some of them ran away and came back. What were they going to do? Just stay hidden on the run? And we know those stories. Even when Harriet Tubman got some out and came back to get more, she couldn't get them all. So while you're sitting there and you're watching everybody be shot, what do? All you can do is fight to the end, go to the end, just like in slavery, which is why it's like, okay, you are a descendant of someone who made it through slavery. No, anybody who's watching this later on, I am not saying that they are exactly the same thing. I am not. But what I am saying is the thought of they had the freedom to leave and they decided to come back. So they had some people watching them, watching their every move, controlling when they got to eat, when to wake up, had them playing these games on a little bit of food, had them to their breaking point of when they wanted to kill themselves. So when were they going to be able to stick to their own morals to say, I don't want to do this anymore? I think that person's life is just as valuable as mine. Let's quit this game. And that whole democracy thing that they had set up of rule number 3 says that we can take a vote. And so they vote on everything. Then they have that other rule of no violence. Like I saw this stuff, but it's like they're not really keeping all of this like along the ways, and it's still hard to do because you're watching this and you're setting it up. So back to, like I said, in the VIP room, the VIPs or watching them. No, that wasn't tug of war. That was when they were jumping on the glass trying to figure out, or was it both? Was it tug of war and the glass? Was the VIPs there for two games? Um Either way, they were there and they were watching them. And they were placing their bets on people, just like the folks placed their bets on slaves during these fights when they had us beating each other up. So, like I said, no violence is supposed to be implemented during these games. It's supposed to be a democracy where you can vote. But what is it really worth? What's it worth? What do you have to your advantage? Advantage is supposed to help you, right? Help you and your teammate, just like player 001. He used to his advantage all the stuff that he did when he was younger, when he played tug of war. But when it came to the guy who used to work in the glass factory, when he tried to use his knowledge, then they dimmed the lights. So it's like the whole system is setting you up for a handicap. So I kind of looked at it like, I guess they want everyone to be equally handicapped. They try to put everybody on the equal playing field. But if you have something that puts you to an advantage, you don't, so you, it was messed up. That guy should have been able to use his knowledge to help everyone go across. Because, like in America, they want to say, pick yourself up by the bootstraps, all lives matter, all you got to do is try hard, and don't step on anybody, help the next person up the ladder. Well, that's what he was doing finally at the end, right? At that point, there was what, like 12 or 13 of them? If even that, was probably only like 7 of them. So what was wrong with him helping everyone come across? It's like somebody always has to die. And I understand that in games, someone has to lose. But when it comes to, in this whole democracy system that they set up, if they all decided that everyone is going to win and everyone is going to come across the finish line, that should have been what it was. That should have been it. Not we're gonna find a way to make somebody die. So what other character, type in the box whatever character, or what did you see? Because once I get on Mr. Shiesty, this dude, when I get on Mr. Shiesty, I might not be able to come back. I might not be able to come back. You're gonna finish the rest and play back. All right, good night. Good night. Go do your motherly duties. Gotta go do it. Before I get on Mr. Shiesty, I will go back and talk about Ali. Ali, this is why I call the other dude Sang-Woo Shiesty. Because I don't like what he did to Ali. Ali, we already said that he represents, David said what he said. He said purity. David says purity, and I say innocence. So when Mr. Shiesty decided to trick him, sent him all around, and set him up for the okie doke, he's believing what he said, right? He already had told him, hey, don't call me sir, don't call me sir. So he's starting to believe in this dude, think that he's here for him, telling him we can win, we can both win. This dude don't know. It's just like when you try to play games and tricks on the immigrant who doesn't quite understand things. He told him that he never played these games before. So when he set him up for the okie doke, that I call him Shiesty. That's it. He is Mr. Shiesty. He definitely was out for number one. Now, is there anything wrong with that? That's the real question. Is there anything wrong with that? What did this show teach us? What does it say? Because everyone knew that. Everyone knew that they were coming to win this money for themselves. They knew that for every person that died, that money was going to be for their amount. And in the end, right, you want to go all out. You trying to win. You want that money. And the rule says no violence. So is it okay that if you use your smarts to win the game to trick somebody else? I don't know. But I don't like shisty people. I don't like that because he did that to Ali, who represents immigrants, people of color, all of that. And then he did it to his supposed friend, his whole childhood friend. He did that to him. So who the heck can you trust? Money brings out the worst in some people, and that's what I got out of this show. Too bad that it took a childhood game, right? And I think that's the thing, that people think that because it's a childhood game that you can get over, you can do it. This is easy. Because who plays games? No one but kids. So because I'm grown and I'm an adult, I can do this. But there's strategy, obviously, as character one showed us, there's a way to play tug of war. There's a way you're supposed to team up. And then always know that there's consequences to everything, because although the one game, it was marbles. Marbles was teammates, which I've never played marbles. Has anyone? I mean, I have played marbles, but I didn't really know what I was doing, so I was probably not really playing marbles. But if any of you played marbles, and again, I repeat my question, what childhood games do you remember playing, and do you remember what was the point of those games? So marbles, you have your partner, but if you beat your partner, then they were eliminated. So the fact that couple who stayed together the whole time, that was not good for them. Because at some point, you would want to split, but not like that, right? So the way that it goes, and the person who ended up winning in the end, and you watching it, and you're like, I hope that you don't go back to your old ways. I hope that you do some good with this money. I hope that you keep the person's word that they say that they wanted to do with their money. I hope that that's what you do. So like I said, I'm not gonna spoil it in case someone watches this. But that's what, as you're watching it, like that's what you're thinking, that's what you're hoping. And then that also that person makes a change in their own life. Like, you got all this money. Don't go back and do the thing. Don't go back and do the old things that put you into this position. Then the lesson. That's what I'm not too sure about. The whole person who set this up, why they set it up. Now, there was a lesson in there about the poorest man and the richest man. They share something in common. I mean, it's pretty much happiness. We all know that. We all know that money can't buy you happiness. Whether you have it or you don't have it, that's not the answer. It's not going to get you there. I was thinking about two childhood games as I watched the show. I thought about Red Rover. We got kind of violent with that game, for sure, because you're linking hands together, and when that person runs over, you was hoping that it would be somebody that you didn't like, so that you could swing your arm real hard to keep them from breaking the chain. Yeah, that was a bully's game, Red Rover. And then the other game, freeze tag. and cartoon freeze tag or TV freeze tag. What was the point of that? What was the point of that game? Children just have fun, and there's no point in these games at all. So that's pretty much all I had tonight. Because I didn't do any spoilers or play any scenes from the movie, but maybe I'll play some scenes from the Black TV shows that I will talk about on tomorrow. But this show, with this one being like the most talked about and most watched Netflix show, I wanted to make sure that I didn't do any spoilers because there may be people who are still trying to catch up on it. So I want to keep it nice and pure for them, because I know it takes forever. Even though you know that something is hot, you just may not have the time to sit down and watch it all and watch it in bits and pieces. So tomorrow I'm going to talk about what's it called? Our Kind of People. That's the main one that I'm going to focus on, is Our Kind of People. But some other Black TV shows is out there on Hulu and Netflix. Yeah. Any last comments while I am here? I'm going to play something for you as well soon as I find it. While I wait and see if there's any more comments. I thank y'all, though. I really do. Nothing else? No last minutes? I know it takes a little bit for the network to catch up. While y'all do that, I'm gonna play this. Have you been looking for an Avon consultant, or would you like to join the Avon team? Well, look no further. You can contact Serena Bell in Clarksville, Tennessee, and she will help you with that theme of look beautiful for less. She's a great leader, and the products are great. Avon, it's more than makeup. Okay. Avon. If you're in Washington, D.C., especially in Ward 8, and you're looking for a barber or beautician, stop by My Three Sons at the corner of MLK and Esther. And that was that. So, Squid Games, y'all continue to leave me comments on the show, and I still respond. And still, subscriber number 125, you will win a t-shirt. I'm still trying to get up there and get my numbers up naturally. Thank y'all for watching. I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. I would like to thank my guests for joining me, or simply thank you for watching the pre-recorded episode. No matter what your birth order is, how you self-identify, and whether you like pancakes or waffles. If this is the first time you're hearing it today, I want you to know that you are loved. You were put here for a purpose that only you can fulfill. Until next time, take care of yourself. Be sure that you like and share the videos, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notifications bell. This is RealRam out.